I still flex on you. I flex better than you. I cash checks on you. Watch me flex on you, babe. Don't compare your life, don't compare your lives. Gotta stay true to the real you.
After our manager quit, we got a new one. And that new one, he was trash. I'm going to name him Tom, I guess. So he wasn't supposed to be our store manager. He was supposed to be the manager of another location. It ended up being ours after, I don't know what happened, but it shouldn't have happened. Once he became our manager, I was a little skeptical, but he was nice. He was super nice when we started. And that was the one thing that I was hoping, because our manager that had to leave because of the family issues, he was so nice. He did above and beyond for any and everyone that asked. He ended up having to leave, and then we got Tom. And Tom was nice at first, maybe the first 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I remember this like back of my hand. 2 weeks in, all of a sudden there's a problem. You get that feeling like somebody rubs you the wrong way, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I like this person, but they're nice, so I'm not going to dislike them. Then he started doing weird things. He didn't, I know for a fact that like one thing that was like, he didn't want to close, and which it is what it is, whatever. But I'm like, the day that I can't work, like if I can't work a day, who's going to close? It ended up being me and my best friend back to back, closing, which sometimes we would close together, sometimes we couldn't, because either I had something to do or she had something to do, so then we were closing, which we didn't have a problem with that because they closed at 7. So like it wasn't that bad. When we both had things to do, that's when the problem started, because once we started getting into exam time, we both started having things that we needed to do, exams to be all for, study for, like normal teenagers have when they're in school. He genuinely got mad because we both needed to be off on the same day for the first time. It hurt his feelings, I guess. I don't really know, but it wasn't like a last minute, oh, I can't work. Like, it's like, I have an exam this day, so I know I'm not going to be able to work. He didn't make his schedules in advance. This was another problem. We showed him everything and anything he needed. Our old manager left templates and everything for us to go by, so it would be easier for us, and we showed it to him. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to go by his own rules, so we let him do what he wanted to do. He didn't care what was left for him or what was done. He wanted to do it his way and only his way. Which, you're a manager, you can do it however you want, whatever, but when you're doing it wrong, that's when I have a problem. He was not doing protocol. He wasn't making the schedule in advance. He was making it the week of, and then he wants to get mad when you can't work, and it's like, you're just not making the schedule. Like, I've had this planned weeks ago. Or if you have something like, you're like, oh, me and my friends are going to go do this, like, I can't work that day, and you're just sitting here making the schedule with me. He's like, no, you're going to work. He never closed. He never, to the time that I quit, he never closed once. He never worked a Sunday. One Sunday, this was Easter, I asked him, I said, can I be off? Because we had already made that schedule, but my Easter slipped my mind. He's Egyptian. Which there's a lot of Egyptians in the company. I have no problem. I'm working with Egyptians. This one lady that I worked with, she was my assistant manager at shoe school. Their Easter is the same day as ours. So my assistant manager told me that, not even my manager. And so I was like, oh, I can be off on Sunday and I can enjoy my Easter, and then I'll take y'all's Easter. That was a problem because it was a Sunday. And she was like, our Easter's not that day. So I texted him and asked him, I was like, could you take Sunday, and I think their Easter was on Monday, and then he wanted Saturday off for it as well. And I was like, I'll work Monday and Sunday. Like, that's fine with me. I don't have anything to do either of those days. I was like, could I just have Sunday off and have Easter with my family? No, you said you would work already and blah, blah. And so I was like, I didn't know it was Easter. But, from what I've been hearing, like, he had nothing to do anyway. And he didn't, like, have any excuse of why he couldn't work. So I was like, so you can't work, like, you have something to do. And he said, no, you said you would already work. And so I'm sitting on the other line. I said, okay. I said, bet. Have a nice day. Hung up the phone, whatever. This was like the middle of the week when I asked him if I could be off on Sunday. And my only off day, I think, was either Thursday or Friday. So I was off hanging out with one of my best friends at their apartment, because 3 of my best friends live together. But I was hanging out at their apartment, but with her, because she was the only one home. If we're sitting there watching TV, I don't want to talk to you, especially him, because, like, we weren't friends at this point. Like, it was known, I didn't even swear, like, it was known by him I didn't mess with him. This was after a whole bunch of other petty stuff because he did a whole lot in that little, he'd only been here at this point, I think maybe less than a month. He had done a lot. I was mad, like I should be, because he had nothing to do. He told me that he couldn't, so this is the next phone call. He calls me and is like, which he calls me. Let's just keep that in mind. I was like, hello, like I answered, and I'm trying to make this quick because I already said I would work. Like this, we've had this conversation multiple times after this because I worked all week and there's 4 of us. So like we're in each other's face all day long. This isn't like a thing where you can just do whatever you want to your employees. This is like a family. Your store is your family. There's 4 of you. It's either you get along or you don't. And if you don't get along and there's only 4 of you, there's not really much that's really going to happen besides one of you are going to end up quitting. It's 4 of you. Anything can be worked out if you want to. He calls me and he's like, which our Sundays, I think our Sundays were, an employee, you come in at 11:45 to 7, but our store opened at 12 and you closed at 7. And which closing literally was like 2, like you close while the store is still open, basically. Like you can close the drawer. No, we close at 6 on Sundays. So it's 5:45 and the parking lot's empty. There's nobody near the hallway that was in the modular location because it's like, I guess, a suite style type. You're going to close your drawer. Like, you're not going to stay here past 7 o'clock if there's no reason to. Everybody knew it. Manager knew and everything. So it wasn't a thing you're not allowed to do. Like, everybody did it. If nobody's there, just close your drawer and go home. He's like, so you still want a Sunday off? And I said, I would like it. I already said I'll work. And I said, this is my only off day, so I'm really not trying to have this conversation anymore. It's cool. I'll work. I already told my parents I'll work anyway, so they know I'm not going to be home. He was like, well, how about this? And so I'm sitting there thinking like a nice person. He would let me either have my Sunday or he wouldn't have had this conversation with me. Like, he shouldn't have called me. This is already to the point where I'm already fed up. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not trying to just be super nice because he's my manager. Like, this is just childish. Like, everything he did was childish the whole time. What could you possibly want from me? Because I've already said I'd work. And he's like, how about, which keep my hours 12 to 6. How about I come in for I think he came out with the last hour and let you go home. And I said, no. I was like, if I'm going to go work on a Sunday, I'm going to work the full Sunday. I'm not going to drive, which is only 15 minutes from my house, which is whatever. Get out of my bed and get ready for work and then go home an hour before we close. I was like, no, if I go, I'm closing. And I said that. I was like, if I go, I'm just going to close. He didn't make sense half the time. So one minute he wanted to come in later. Next minute he wanted to come in at 12 and then stay. He said he would come in at 12, stay for 4 hours. I said, no. I was like, I'll just work the full day because if I come in, I'm working the full day. I'm not coming at all because it's a Sunday. So he was like, why do you not try to work with me and blah, blah. I said I would work. Like, I was like, this is really not an argument. Like, I was like, you're just sitting here mad at yourself. This conversation is unnecessary. I said, I'm not even mad. I was like, I'm still going to make my money and go move on. I was like, I'm going to see my parents after. I was like, we get off at 6. Still trying to talk. And I said, this is my only off day. Can we just, in this conversation, be over? Whatever. This is Friday. And I didn't work Saturday. I was like, this is over. This conversation's dumb. And I'm pretty sure I did. I hung up because he kept talking. Like I said, he just kept talking. He was getting on my everlasting nerve, and I told him, I said, bye. I said, I'm done with this conversation. I said, I'm hanging out with my friend. We were trying to watch TV. I was like, you're interrupting it. We had just started a movie. So I was like, we're watching a movie. He was like, but I need to talk to you. And I said, no, you don't. I said, I'll work. I was like, bye. This is unnecessary. I was like, I will work. I said, I will work Sunday. It's cool. I was like, but just know I'm going to be off next Saturday, and I'm not working Monday. And hung up the phone. And which I had already been telling him that during the week, and he said it's fine, and he got an attitude when I said that. I said, okay, good. I was like, because I can't be off on my holiday, so why do you think I'm going to let you be off on yours? I'm not working while you're not. Fast forward, I think, because I worked that Sunday, so then this is Tuesday. I came back to work, and it was only me and him, and I think my bestie was off. He was like, why did you hang up on me? I told you on the phone it was my only off day, and I was with my best friend, so I didn't want to have that conversation anymore if I was going to end up working in the end, which I did. This is my only off day. I had, like, genuinely something to do that day, and which I don't even think it ended up working out, but still. It was school-related, and so I was like, this is not an off day. I have to do something for school. You hung up on me before I could tell you, and I said, tell me what? I was like, you told me plenty in the 20 minutes that we were talking when I told you that I was hanging out with my best friend and that I wanted to hang up the phone because we had just started watching a movie. And he was like, well, I could have worked Sunday if you would let me. We're sitting in the back room, and I looked at him, and I was like, That's not what you said, though. And he said, if you would have let me finish, then I would have told you. I was trying to tell you that I could work 4 hours, that I had a baby shower to go to. He said that he could work the full day. The day that he had the baby shower on Sunday. And I said, no, that's not what you said. You told me you could come in for 4 hours. I said, that's exactly what you said. And he said, no, I didn't. I said, then why would I respond to you and say, if I come, I'm working the full day? And I said it repeatedly. And he just sat there and looked at me like I wasn't going to remember that part. So he just looked confused for like 2 to 3 seconds. And I said, yeah, that would make absolutely no sense if you said you could work the whole day. Why would I say that to you? He just kind of sat there and was looking. And that's what I thought. I was like, I work Sunday. It's over anyway. This is dumb. I'm not having this conversation or this argument, whatever you want. I was like, I'm not arguing with Tom. I already worked. Like, it's over. I'm getting that money. It's going in my bank account when this next paycheck goes. You're not going to be off on your holiday, so it's not affecting me, which I think he ended up being anyway, and he made our assistant manager work. You don't do your employees like that when there's not that many of you, because it just comes back and bites you in the butt. In the end, I feel like she probably still ended up like closing and everything. The main thing I felt bad for quitting was because she was going to get the short end of the stick. I didn't care about him. I didn't care what happened to him afterwards. Like, I didn't care if he struggled to the max because 2 of us quit at the same time. Tom's going to be inconvenienced. I didn't care. I cared about the fact that, I guess I'm going to call her Amanda was getting the short end of the stick because she was nice. She did what she needed. She did her job. She had cute little kids. Tom had an adorable son. He was like, I think 4. He was so cute. His dad was just a childish man. I hope the child turns out nothing like him. The child seems sweet, like, he was cute, but his dad was something else. Wife, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how that ever happened. You meet him, you're kind of like, oh, he's nice, but then you start to get to know him, and you're like, wow, there's something wrong with you. Anyway, I caught him in that lie. I caught him flat in that lie, and he had nothing else to say, and I thought it was so funny, and I told my best friend and Amanda, I guess I should give my best friends names. I don't know. Maybe they want me to use their name later on. Who knows? We'll see. Amanda thought it was funny. My best friend thought it was funny that he lied. Put that in the back of my mind to bring that up later on because I knew things were going to go backwards, which they did. Fast forward, this is weeks later. It's me and my best friend in the store, and it's like a Saturday, I think, because the banks close early on Saturday. So here we are, we get busy, like store full of customers, and we don't ever get that busy. When we do, it's kind of like a whoa, like why they're like 5, 6, or however many, and that's just like family wise. Like, usually when people come in phone stores, they bring their family or friends. Say there's probably about maybe 10 people in the store plus. I don't really know. I don't remember how many, but I know that there was a family in there at one point, and then it was like me and my best friend. I was dealing with somebody. My best friend was dealing with somebody. We got paid with like $200, and then they were both $100 bills. And then one lady came in and the bill was like $40, and she gave us a $100 bill, which we don't have money for that. Most drawers start out with the 100. We didn't have like big bill change, so we had to give her. I'm pretty sure we had to give her a whole bunch of 1s and 5s. So then she was like, and which we had scraped up to do that because we were trying to figure out how we were gonna do it because I think that drawer had a whole bunch of change in it. Could you give me maybe a 10 out of that or a 20? And me and my best friend just kind of looked back and was like, no, we just had to scrape up to give you these 1s and 5s that we gave you. But when I looked at my best friend, I was like, you better be happy. At least we gave you the 5. People are absolutely inconsiderate. We got her out of the way. She did her bill pay or whatever. So my best friend, we have a group message because there's 4 of us. It's like, hey, like, can we just kind of post like a little sign in the window like normal businesses do saying, hey, we can't take $100 bills for bills that are less than, I don't remember exactly what she put, but like less than whatever, because we don't have change for that. She said especially, or at least we can just put it for Sundays, because Sundays, you're 1 by yourself, 2 banks aren't open, and then 3, like, you can't get change if you want to because you're by yourself. On Saturdays, which it had already been past the time the bank closed, so we couldn't have got change anyway. Everybody wanted to know after we told this story was like, why didn't one of you go get change? The bank was closed. There was no time to get change because as soon as that lady gave us that 100, it's like it got busy. And by then we had no time. We just busy, back to back. Banks are closed. It's going on maybe like a couple hours after the bank is closed. People are paying with cash and they need money back, and we're like, we don't have any. And so we're asking people like, do you have card? Do you have card? Do you have cash? Like, what are you paying for first so I can maybe get some change for this person? I asked somebody if they have cash, and they were looking at me like I was crazy. And I was like, I just need some money. She texted the group, and he texted back and was like, absolutely not, with like a whole bunch of exclamation points. That's all he said at first. And I had the group message on silent because of him. I never do that, especially for work group messages. But he would come in the group message with an attitude, or you would say something and he would take it the wrong way and he's mad, and nobody else takes it that way. It's like everybody else in the group will understand, like, oh, you're just asking a question. He's mad. One thing one time, and I just said it to somebody because I don't remember if I didn't understand what she was saying or what, and I asked her a question, and he came back and was like, you need to be more friendly in the group message, and came at me sideways, and I looked and I said, what? And so I asked the coworker that I was talking to, and I said, did I come at you wrong? I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like, because I genuinely didn't realize. She was like, no, I didn't take it that way. So I look crazy. After that, I knew he just didn't, which I get, like, people don't take text messages the right way. People just read things and they take it the wrong way. Okay, whatever. He just wants a problem. That's what I realized. That man, he just wanted a problem. So he sent back the absolutely not with a bunch of exclamation points, and my friend saw it before I did. I was doing a whole new upgrade. And look at my phone because I'm with customers. She looked at her phone because she got the text message because she didn't have it on silent, and she was like, was my text aggressive? Which she had read it out loud to me before she sent it. I was like, businesses do that all the time. Like, they say you can't pay with checks or cash bills over this much. So it's a normal thing. Maybe they don't do it in Egypt. I don't know. But the point is, like, he was genuinely mad for no reason. She texted the group again and was like, my text wasn't aggressive. Like, she wasn't trying to be aggressive. We get no reply. He lives right down the street. Keep that in mind. He lives not even 5 minutes away. Fast forward, I'm doing their phone, and he flies through the door. And when I mean, like, not a little, like, oh, I'm coming through the door real fast, like, he comes through the door, as you would say, like a bat out of hell. I look up because the door flies open. Came to me, and I think it's because while I was waiting for my computer to load, I don't remember, no, my customers were standing right there. They were standing right there in front of me. I was doing the rest of my stuff, and he stopped me and was like, where's the money? I said, there's 4 $100 bills in the safe, I'm pretty sure. I was like, I think they gave us 4 of them, if not 5. Which I think it was 5 now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't remember. It was either 4 or 5. And so you expect him to walk away after that, like, okay, you're just going to go get us some change. There's a store full of people. Most managers, because you can clock in anytime. Like, our schedule wasn't on our app at that time. So, like, he could have clocked in at any moment, especially since you're a manager. So, like, it would have been whatever if he would have clocked in even with the schedule made. And helped us because we're still in there with the store full of people. He didn't. He did not. He continued to yell at me in front of my customers and was like, you can't do that. You can't put that sign up. And I said, first of all, I'm not doing anything. I said, I didn't even text that. And so he's yelling at me like I had no part of this. Tom's in my face and I backed up. Like, I'm like, why are you coming at me like that? So I backed up. Like, I'm not short. Like, I'm 5'6", but he's taller than me. He's towering over me, yelling at me. Nobody does that to me, first of all. I'm like, and you don't do that to a female. That was my main issue. I'm like, you don't do that to females. And he did it to me, so, like, I blew it off, whatever, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to, like, fight my manager. Like, what? But if you would have been in the streets, like, that's how you get squared up on. That's not cute. He gets in my face, and I explained to him, like, I'm still being calm, like, you're my manager, I'm not gonna come at you sideways, even though you came at me sideways. I was like, it's just, we got paid with a bunch of hundreds today, and I was like, and we got paid with it before we even got changed. She was like our first customer, like our first real customer of the day, and gave us $100 bill. Her bill wasn't even $60. So he was like, but we can't do that and blah, blah. And I said, okay, we get that. I was like, it was a question. Like, we haven't even wrote it down on a piece of paper or anything, typed it up. I was like, it's never going to be that crucial. She was asking permission. I didn't even say we because I was like, I didn't ask anything. Like, I didn't say anything. He was continuing to yell at me because, like I said, he doesn't know when to stop talking. So, like, how he was on the phone when he just kept talking, and, like, it's like, okay, this conversation is obviously not getting anywhere. So, the customer is listening to him. I'm literally sitting here just getting yelled at. I'm trying to finish their stuff, and I'm trying to focus, and he's sitting here trying to talk to me. First of all, the customer is always the priority. I don't care how mad you are, what manager stops you from what you're doing in the middle of a transaction that's guaranteeing your store money, just to yell at you over something that has nothing to do with any of the customers. That was strike 1. Strike 2 was him standing over yelling at me at all. That was strike 2. And then the man didn't stop talking. And then when he finally did stop talking, it was after I had to tell him to. An associate is having to tell you as a manager you shouldn't be yelling in front of customers. Stop. Tom, I'm not arguing with anymore. I was like, there's customers here. I'm trying to finish my transaction. I will talk to you later. Will you take the money and go get change or whatever you were going to do? If you're not going to get change, leave. I didn't tell him leave, but that's what I felt like. She was still doing her stuff. I had started with a new customer, and the customers that I had currently while I was getting yelled at were kind of just looking like, I got a lot of questions after that. Like, they were like, whoa, is he okay? What's wrong with him? And I said, I honestly don't know. I was like, we sent a text message and I explained like what happened, because that's one thing with cricket. You have a lot of time to talk and you have a lot of time to get to know people. in between them getting a phone. Sometimes you sit there in silence. Sometimes people don't want to talk to you. It's like, I found out a lot of people's life story from working at that job. So I was just talking because we had plenty of time. I think I was setting up a phone or something, and he was like, well, why does he do that? And what, like, does he do that often? Why did he do that? I think I just cut my nose. I don't know. I was like, he really just got mad, and I don't know why. Told him, like, what she texted in, and I said, is that a normal thing? He was like, yeah, if they're paying you with $100 bills and you don't have change, then exactly. Because we get that all the time on Sundays. People will come in with $100 bills and we don't have change for it. Especially if after you've already pressed it into the computer, it's like I can't just sit here and not give them the change back or not give them enough change. And I can't pull money out of thin air. We do have a second drawer, but then that confuses things, so you have to keep going back and forth and getting change, or sometimes you don't even have the change that you need, and so you just have to take it, and then you have to remember to put it back in there, or you have to write a note. It's just too much. That's the point. It's too much. Tom comes back. He puts the cash wherever. I don't really know because I'm still pissed off. Like, I'm like, I really just got the short end of the stick here and I didn't even do anything. Normal people would go home on their off day after they went and got change angrily. He sits there and waits. I was still with the customer, but they were like finishing up, and I was hoping somebody else would come in there because I didn't know why he was sitting in the back. Like, I was like, I'm not about to have a little powwow. He loved to sit there and have little powwows. Talk about nonsense because nobody ever knew what he was talking about. And it wasn't even his accent because Amanda, I could understand Amanda. So he stood back there, and it was like 30 minutes because I was still with the customer, and so was my best friend. And he realized we weren't going to come out there. He decides he's going to bring himself out there, and he realized that we weren't going to go in the back, so he came out to the front. I was still with the customer, but I think my best friend had just got done with hers, and now she was emailing our inventory team about something. He comes at her, so the same way he came at me. I just sat there and I witnessed because I was like, oh, so that's what I look like getting yelled at, like a big kid. And he was yelling and he was like, why would you send that text message and blah, blah, blah. First thing she said was, wait, my text wasn't aggressive. I wasn't trying to be aggressive. I was just saying, but he interrupted her. He would interrupt every time I was on the phone with him, every time I was talking to him in person, he interrupted you. That was my strike 3. He kept interrupting me when I was trying to explain to him that it wasn't that big of a deal. He kept interrupting me like he was right. And I said, you know what? I said, forget it, I'm not going to argue with you. He kept interrupting her, and she was like, my text wasn't aggressive, like I wasn't trying to be aggressive. He kept yelling at her, and I couldn't even understand what he was saying because he was trying to like yell whisper, and then at one point he actually did start whispering because he realized everybody was staring at him. I was helping her customer because she hadn't finished with them yet. She had to email our inventory team because I think it was about a case or something. This man is all up in her face yelling at her in front of people. The customer's like, and he's with his kid. He's not a kid though. He was like grown. We're both just looking at each other like, wow. He just keeps talking, and she's like, Tom, I'm not about to argue with you. Tom, we can talk about this later when I'm not doing something. And he told her like, you have a strike or something, and then left. First things first, I don't really know how it goes with getting actually in trouble with cricket because either you do something enough where you get fired or you're in trouble, but you're not. Because cricket was basically you do your own thing, you make your own schedule, you're an adult, just go to work, do what you gotta do, and go home. Obviously, I'm closing it open by myself and not have to have like a manager there, which was cool because, like I said, I made my own schedule. I got to do my homework there. Everything about it was cool. It's just him. And Tom decided that, I guess that everything that we were doing wasn't the way he wanted to do it. So he was mad all the time. Once he got mad about that, that was like the last straw of like me and my best friend were like, yeah, we gotta find another job. The customer was like concerned. He was like, are you okay? Why was he yelling at both of y'all? He asked for our territory manager's number, which we gave it to him. So my best friend called our manager, which this is one of the reasons why I quit. Called him. You know, once you explain what happened, any normal person should listen to that and see the red flag, but he didn't. Every person that had worked with him didn't like him, and he had worked in multiple locations. Like, he worked at, I think, at Hermitage and Old Hickory. Nobody liked him from either location. Nobody wanted to work with him, and I think that's why he became the manager of our store, because everybody at our store was nice. We accepted him with open arms, but we didn't know he was crazy. So our territory manager was on the phone with my best friend, like, hyping her up, like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to him and blah, blah, and when she told him the strike thing, which he did talk to him, to come to find out, because we thought, like, oh, this is gonna be handled, like, he's gonna be in trouble, because he sat there and not only yelled at us in front of customers, but, like, had a customer call and complain. He was mad because the customer called and complained and we gave him his number. He had multiple phones, so it wasn't like we were just giving his phone number out day in, day out. He's getting calls. It was one man complaining because our manager was terrible. After that, we started doing that with every customer that had a problem with him, or call customer service and complain. Like, we're like, whatever you want to do, call and complain, do it, because it's not going to get fixed. And we realized that after that phone call did not do anything. He made it seem like we were the problem. He told Tom he was Tom's only friend. What do you mean you're his only friend? Like, you're supposed to be his manager, not his friend. Why are you being his friend if he's not doing his job? I guess he told him not to do it again. At the same time, that wasn't good enough, obviously, because he didn't care. He just kept doing what he wanted to do. He never got in trouble for it. And after that, our hours got cut. All of a sudden, we needed to work at Hermitage, which I get because people quit. But at the same time, first of all, why am I being punished for something that I didn't do? It's not my job to work at Hermitage. If I don't want to work at Hermitage, I don't want to work at Hermitage. So our hours got cut because I didn't want to work at Hermitage. After that, I didn't care. So I called our territory manager, and he started to get mad at me. I called him the same day, and he was like, why would you call after she already called and I told you I would handle it? Because she only told about that, and I know you're going to handle it. I was like, I just want you to understand, how bad this is getting. I'm about to quit. I was like, I don't want to quit, but it's getting to that point. He was like, well, I already talked to him. Then he started going on about what we needed to do and how I didn't need to call him. I don't know, something like I didn't need to call him for everything. And I was like, first of all, I never call you for the fact that I don't like talking to you. I did not like talking to that man because every time he talked to me, he either made me mad or he either seemed like he had attitude or I just had nothing to talk to him about. All of my stuff was usually taken care of, or I could get my best friend to call him because her dad's friends with him. And I called him for my time card. That was about the only time I called. Fun fact, he called me around the time that I called the labor department. All of a sudden, there's questions about why I don't like him. There's nothing to do with you because, like I said this from day one. I am here to get my money, go to school, go to work, go home. That's what I did almost every day. I'm not going to work to have drama in between and then drama after. There shouldn't be drama. Period. There's 4 of us. We are all grown. I was like, I don't think they understood. Why is there drama in between? There wasn't drama before. There was never drama before. He wasn't understanding that, and all of a sudden there was a problem. So I ended the conversation basically. He said whatever he needed to say, and I went on my business. I was like, if you're not going to fix it, then whatever. That was my time at cricket, basically, because after that, it kind of just went, it didn't go smoothly, that's for sure. In a battle every day over something new with him. So he was mad about something, or we didn't do something right. It wasn't even like we didn't even do it right, because I knew how to do my job. It was him asking for a new specific rule that day, and we just had to follow. Our cricket corporate lady that came, she was cool. She had to come twice a month. So I think by the time that he had been working there, she had probably met her maybe twice before, or maybe 3 times. She's there to talk to everybody, all the employees, see what your stats are, see if you know what you're talking about. I met her multiple times, have a conversation with her every time because she's there to talk to the entire team. This man, it's just me, Amanda, and Tom. I just got back from school, so I go from school straight to work. I'm coming in, and I think either she came in when I came in or she was there before. I sat down because I hadn't eaten yet, and so I sat down to eat. I don't even think I had clocked in yet. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Obviously, I'm eating, but sometimes I gotta stop eating and I gotta go work. I'm not clocked in yet. And then she wanted to talk to us, so I clocked in. Everybody sits down in the back room, which he called it his office, which was not an office. It was our back room. It was our break room. He kept swearing up and down it was his office because there was a computer back there. Lady from cricket, we've already met her. We already know her. And she sits down in the back with us because I'm eating, and she sees, but I'm just eating a honey bun. It's not even a meal. Was chilling because I needed something to eat because I hadn't eaten all day. I don't usually eat when I go to class. I usually eat when I get to work. And there's the safe in the doorway. He stands in the doorway, gets out of the doorway enough to be seen around the safe, and just standing there. So we're all sitting down, but him. It's kind of far away from the table, so everybody just looks and it's just what? But he's behind me, so I'm just sitting here eating my honey bun, looking at everybody else why y'all stop talking? He goes, I'm not comfortable in here. This is because he wants the spinny chair that goes to his office. The regular computer chair that slides and spins. He wants that chair, which our cricket corporate came and sat in that one. We're gonna let her have the nice chair, which our chairs weren't even bad. They were just table chairs. They were just picnic table chairs, and he didn't want to sit in it. And there was 2 extras, so it wasn't like he didn't have a seat. Everybody had to get up because he's a princess. Let him sit in the front where there's 4 chairs that are round table. So we had to sit there and have our little meeting because he wasn't comfortable. My makeup's done, my hair's done. It's kind of hot. I need to lay my edges, but this video is already so long. I'm just gonna show you the finished product and. If you like this video, I'm going to put out more videos. I don't know exactly when yet. Follow me on all my social media. Instagram, Snapchat, Candra98, and then Twitter is Candra98. Please subscribe, and thank you.